YouTube, what's going on? Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to check the stream from my phone. I told y'all I was going to use my headphones this week. So hopefully the audio is coming through clearly. My big goal is that we don't lose audio this week either. So that is my top goal. Let me double check to make sure at the audio. Okay. It's coming through clearly on YouTube. I'm going to go. So the audio is working, y'all, but now my laptop is saying it can't connect to the chat. So I'm going to pull it up on my iPad to see if it'll work. And then I'm going to boot the stream on IG too. So we'll have two streams going at one time. I won't be able to comment from my laptop, so I'm going to have to comment from my iPad. Hopefully everything works well. Y'all give me 1 second to load that up. How was y'all's week? Did y'all have a good week this week? Did everything go well or as expected? We have a lot of things to talk about today. The top topic of our conversation today will be patience. Not just for this moment, but for a lot of moments. A lot of things are going on right now. Okay. Should be going live on IG. What's popping, IG? The topic for today is patience. Hey. I hope all is well, IG. I always flip this camera accidentally on Instagram. I don't know what's going on. Let me pull it up on my iPad, you all. Okay. So I can chat with you because what's popping, y'all? Thanks for joining too. My chat went out on my laptop. So I have 3 devices going. Instagram, I can show you all because you all can see. But I have my iPad going and my laptop trying to get y'all this info. So today we're talking about patience. And we're going to talk about patience in regards to scholarships. Patience in regards to scholarships. So before we jump in, real quick, I'm going to leave a comment in both chats and say feel free to drop a question or comment about scholarships. Comment about scholarships in the chat. The whole purpose of this live is to answer any questions you have about scholarships. It's a candid conversation. Let me tell you what this live is originally called. This live is originally known as Dough for Degrees Community Scholarship Chats. It's an opportunity for people who view me on social media, who watch me, to join it and then ask me, a former student, a Virginia Tech alumni who graduated debt-free from Virginia Tech in 2019, having earned more than $200,000 in scholarships, to ask me any questions you have about scholarships. I want to make sure I'm providing helpful and valuable information. So the premise of the conversations usually happens 30 minutes, takes place for 30 minutes every Sunday from 3 o'clock to 3:30. I go live, answer any questions. Sometimes I have a topic prepared. I'm giving you updates on what's going on. It just varies. I always say, feel free to drop any questions or comments you have about scholarships in the chat. YouTube, y'all forgive me, my lighting, I see is going in and out. I'm blocking one of my light sources by trying to type on IG. Feel free to drop any questions or comments about scholarships in the chat. Okay, cool. So let's talk about patience. Before we open up, I promised God I will open up in prayer, so I'm going to do that briefly, and then we're going to jump into the topic at hand. So let's get started. God, thank you for today. Thank you for your grace and mercy. Thank you for your power. I pray that you would give me the words to say, that you would take over my mouth and you would flow through me, that you would give people an ear to hear and give them the opportunity to take action immediately if necessary, and just provide them with a solution that will help them in all the situations. Just in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, so let's jump in. We're talking about patience. All right, so right now, this week, I posted something on my Instagram story talking about Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech released their decision for the fall 2020 semester. And they have decided that they're going to do hybrid like many schools are doing. They're going hybrid. They're going to do some online classes and some in-person classes. Now, the benefit of a lot of schools doing in-person classes is that those that are necessary, whether it be labs or something that's hands-on where people have to be in the classroom, those opportunities will still be afforded to students. But you want to keep in mind, you still have to social distance because you're not trying to catch COVID-19. This thing hasn't gone away. It's actually still out here. It may not be as big of a topic of conversation as it once was, but it's still a real thing. It's not, it hasn't escaped. It hasn't just disappeared. So the benefit of hybrid classes, a hybrid class schedule, is that students have the flexibility to learn online, which gives students an opportunity to dive more into the depths of self-education, exploring the things you're interested in, as opposed to having a rigorous class schedule. But then also you may be missing a lot of social opportunities to develop and grow socially. So that's a con. Now, Virginia Tech did release a statement. You good. Ladybug said, I'm always late. LOL. I never knew you prayed at the beginning. I just started last week. I took 2 weeks off. So I just started. That was something God asked me to do. What's up, Nikki? Thanks for joining. But what happened was they released a statement, said that's the plan for fall 2020. Now, further details will be coming forth on July 13th. So I'm going to insert this right here. If you have not looked at your respective school or university to see how they're operating in the fall, please go check that out. If they're going online all the way, check that out. If they're going hybrid, if they're going online and in person, check that out as well. Now, the second thing Virginia Tech mentioned in their statement saying how they were going to operate, they said as of November, Thanksgiving holiday, everything would be online. So I'm proud of my alma mater for taking that step, taking that approach. But I talk with a lot of my clients. You all know I have a lot of one-on-one sessions with students. And the question was raised, well, what if I have a 6 load class schedule? I have 6 classes I have to take for fall 2020. And 4 of my classes are online and then 2 of them are in person. And I live off campus. Is it a valuable investment to pay rent, to pay all the living expenses associated with living in my respective college's hometown or that respective area, knowing that the majority of my classes are online? Is that a good investment? That's a great question. That's one of many questions a lot of students will have, a lot of families will have moving forward, because so many things are ambiguous. So many things are up in the air. So many things are uncertain. Now, Virginia Tech is not releasing all the details until July 13th. School will start probably late or mid-August. So you have about a month to figure it out and get it together. Now, if you're familiar with colleges and how they operate, typically students are booking their housing for the next term, the next school year, in October. So as of October of last year, when I was in school at Virginia Tech a couple years ago or a year ago, most students would have secured their apartments or their housing for this fall. So you're a year ahead. Now you're trying to figure out within a month. So you already know there's going to be a huge bottleneck. A lot of parents are going to be frustrated. A lot of students are going to be frustrated. There will be a lot of complaining and probably bad reviews, what have you. But today we're talking about patience. So I'm going to apply this not only to scholarships, but I'm also going to apply this to life. Patience. What is patience? Patience is not merely the act of waiting. Anyone can wait. There's a difference between waiting and patience. A complete difference. You're waiting for the information to be released by Virginia Tech. You're waiting for the next official statement. But patience is the attitude you have while waiting. And I've learned this in the last, I would say, month. There's a direct link to patience. Yes, patience is a virtue. That's a fact. There's a direct link to patience and peace. They're correlated. So I'll take this back to my scholarship process, and I'm going to fast forward and bring you to present day. So when I was applying for scholarships to graduate debt-free from Virginia Tech, I told myself during my junior year of high school, I just had this strong desire within me to know that, like, I'm not going to college and taking out any student loans. I'm not doing it. If I have to go to college and take out a student loan, I won't be going to college. I just had a conversation basically with God, and within that, he put it in my spirit, on my heart, don't go to college and take out student loans. I was so determined and devoted to the process my junior year of high school that I told my parents, I said, I'm not going to college and taking out student loans. If you require that I go to college and take out student loans, it's not going to happen. I just don't feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. Now, this is something I probably haven't shared, or I may have shared it by now, because I talk a lot about my process and my childhood and stuff online. But at the age of 5, I had this distinct desire, I would never forget it, to go to college and play Division I basketball. And I always told my family, especially my parents, I said, I'm going to go to school and play Division I basketball and get a full ride scholarship. I will not be paying to go to college. That was my thought process. Now, I tore my ACL at the age of 14. What's up, Corey? I tore my ACL at the age of 14 in 2011. completely disrupted my dreams of going to college and playing Division I basketball. I didn't even really walk around my high school's campus as a first year student in high school, as a freshman. I was in a power chair, in a wheelchair, on crutches during my freshman year of high school. Like getting up and walking to class, no, I was getting out of class 15 minutes early so I could beat the rush and not run over anyone's toes in my power chair because I literally couldn't walk. IG, y'all forgive me, this screen thing. I got my social media networking. Y'all forgive me, IG. I got this social media timer thing on, and it always goes off when I'm getting ready to go live. So I'm gonna have to cut that thing off next time. But it's getting ready to go off in like 5 minutes. So it might pause briefly. But I will say it was disheartening internally. My self-confidence was destroyed. I'm coming out of a period in my life in middle school where I was bullied all the time for being different, for being a tomboy. Then I start high school off not being able to walk. I'm in a power chair all the time. I'm on crutches. People are helping me. And then when I do get out of class a little bit later than I should have, and I get caught in a rush, and I'm in like a hover round, basically. I'm in a power chair. People pressing the horn button on my thing, messing with me and picking on me. So it was just crazy. But to say all that, to say that I had this commitment, God put it on my heart at the age of 5 to get a full ride scholarship to play basketball. So totally destroyed at the age of 14. Now, the best thing about it was my parents were telling me, you got to keep your grades up, do well in school, but we never really talked about how to pay for college. Let's fast forward. I told you my junior year, I made the commitment to graduate debt free. It wasn't until my senior year of high school, my parents sat down with me in my living room and had a conversation and made it real, made the challenge even more vivid or real for me was the fact that they said, we can't afford to send you to college, but you still have to go. It's not an option. It's a requirement. And so what do you do when your back's up against the wall and you really don't know how this thing is going to turn out, but you're committed to the end result, which is what you really want? I really wanted to graduate debt free. It took me 5 years from having that conversation with my parents in 2014, in August or September 2014, until May of 2019 to see my dream become a reality of graduating from college debt free. The commitment initially took place. I initially made the commitment within myself during my junior year of high school. So you're looking at 2013. That required patience. Well, I'll say it again. Patience is not about just waiting. Anyone can wait. There's a distinct difference between waiting and patience. Patience requires you to have a certain attitude while you're waiting to be oh, thank you, Brie. I appreciate that. She said, wow, you truly have an amazing story. I appreciate that. Patience requires you to have an attitude of positivity in the midst of your circumstance situation to know that it won't end badly. But I mentioned this before, there's a direct correlation between patience and peace. And so right now, a lot of students are dealing with the things COVID has upheaved in their life. They've turned them upside down. They turned them inside out. Things are no longer the same. And they're trying to figure out how they're going to operate. Well, the number one thing you have to have in the midst of all this uncertainty and ambiguity and not knowing how things are going to turn out is patience. It's having an attitude of positivity, because the worst thing you can do is cloud your head with negativity right now. There are already too many things going wrong. I'm gonna put these air quotes around it, going wrong. There are already too many things that are unpredictable for you to try to beat yourself up or throw fuel to the fire, the bad kind of fuel, to make it look worse than it is. So let's make it practical. Let's make it plain. How do you operate with an attitude of patience? How do you have a mindset of patience in a time like this? I'm going to take you back to what I had to do when I was applying for scholarships in my senior year of high school and my 4 years of undergraduate education at Virginia Tech. You talk about patience, all hell broke loose in my life. Like everything that could go wrong went wrong. Everything that could have went right kind of went right. The things that did go excellent and above, exceedingly abundantly, all I could ever ask or imagine, fantastic. But at the same time, all hell was breaking loose. Everything was going crazy. Now, if you're looking at me from the outside, and this is something I'm starting to realize too, sometimes for people who don't complain publicly, for people who don't display the bad things in their life outwardly, everyone thinks everything is pristine and perfect. They think you don't go through anything. They think everything is always easy. They think, oh gosh, your life is just so perfect. No, I'm just not the type of person to complain on social media. I'm just not the type of person to complain on any public platform about anything, because complaining doesn't solve a thing. Yeah, I feel it. Ladybug said that seems like the motto for 2020. All hell broke loose, LOL. Yes, it did. All hell is breaking loose, but it's cool because the best attitude you can have when it just seems like everything is going wrong is the fact that you know what? It won't end like this. The end of this story will be better than the beginning. It has to end great. If it's starting like this, the ending has to be fantastic. It can't go. My timer thing went off. Y'all forgive me, Instagram. I'm coming right to y'all. It told me I had 5 minutes. All right, IG, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Good stuff. My timer thing went off. Y'all forgive me. But I was saying, if it looks bad right now, please know that it can't be like this all the time. It won't be like this all the time. Something has to break. Something has to turn around because there's no way you're going to have to endure and suffer for this long for things not to shift in your favor. And I'm not coming on here to preach. I'm not trying to preach to any of y'all, but I'm hopefully giving you some words of advice and words of wisdom to help you know how to operate in this season. Ladybug said it's a blessing that you don't look like your situation circumstance. Yes, it is. Because if you knew all the things I've had to overcome and endure in my 23 years of life, I think it might make you cry. But I will say this: patience. How do you practically implement patience in your life in the midst of chaos, calamity, confusion, uncertainty, ambiguity, all hell breaking loose? How do you insert patience in the midst of just craziness? It's simply waking up every day and finding peace. Centering yourself to know, and this is, I'm gonna take it spiritual for a moment. I didn't come on here to preach, so I'm not trying to take the same path I took last Sunday. But y'all know I can't help but stand and tell you the truth. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. If it's before me, if God put it on my plate, if it's something that I have to face, I'm built to overcome it. Because you will never be put in a situation that you can't overcome. You will never have to endure more than you can bear. But the thing about it is, you don't get your identity from your circumstances. You don't get your identity in your situations. You get your identity from your creator. But I'm going to take it here too. Your tests and trials are meant to make you, not break you. So when I said find peace, the number one practical step you will ever take in the midst of uncertainty, ambiguity, calamity, all craziness, all hell breaking loose, the number one thing you will have to do is find peace. Peace and patience are directly correlated. They're tied together. You cannot do one without the other. You have to have both of them. Now, patience, I'll remind you again, it's not just about the act of waiting. That's right. Ladybug said, if God be for you, who can be against you? So true. Patience is not just about the act of waiting. It is about the attitude you have while waiting. Once again, the attitude you have while waiting. Oftentimes it's said this way: your heart posture. How is your heart positioned in the midst of craziness? Are you constantly complaining? Are you constantly speaking negativity? Are you constantly beating yourself up? Are you constantly implementing or allowing yourself self-doubt and all these negative thoughts to circulate your mind? No, find peace. And so how did I find peace these 5 years I was applying for scholarships? Well, let me walk you through. Let me take you back to, I think this was my sophomore year of college. So I started Doe for Degrees. I founded Doe for Degrees at the age of 18 as a, yes, peace that surpasses all understanding is key. So true. I started Doe for Degrees at the age of 18 as a first year freshman at Virginia Tech. That's so interesting. Now that I'm thinking about it, a freshman year, like the first year I'm trying to do something is always crazy interesting. But I started Doe for Degrees as a first year freshman at Virginia Tech in 2016. I started it with no prior experience in business. And I'm going to apply this to COVID right here. I had no idea how to build a business from the ground up. The only two words I knew in business at the age of 18 were profit and CEO. Those were the only two words I understood and was able to define and clearly communicate related to business: profit and CEO. Profit being the amount of money you make after you break even. After you have cleared the amount you originally invested, the amount of money that you make, that's your profit. Now, CEO, the chief executive officer, the big man in charge, the one who's in charge. Those are the only two words I knew about business. Let's look at COVID. No one knows what life will look like in the next 3 months. There's no guarantee that this thing will go away by the end of 2020. There's so much uncertainty and ambiguity. The only two things we may know right now about COVID, and this is probably something everyone could attest to, is the fact that it's real and the fact that it's taking people out of this world. People are dying from this disease, and it has completely upheaved the majority of our lives. But if you don't find patience and peace in the midst of this situation, it's going to drive you crazy. And it's going to drive you crazy because you're going to let it drive you crazy. So patience is the attitude you have while waiting. Here's a thought. And this is something I had to tell myself every day. If I don't learn how to fight this battle, I'll be ill-equipped for the next one. If I don't learn how to develop the skill set and the knowledge and the awareness and the integrity and the character, if I don't learn how to refine what I know in this moment, I'll be ill-equipped for the next one. Because one thing you can hold fast to, one thing that will always be true, is something will come every single year, every single month, every single week, every single day to test you and try to see if you're ready for the next test. Something will come to test you to see if you're bigger than this, if you can beat this battle too. And so the skills and the lessons you learn in the midst of chaos right now with COVID and just life in general, life just can be crazy, are preparing you for your next battle, whether that be finding the money to pay for your undergraduate degree and then having to find the money to pay for your master's degree, whether that be getting through school with a baby, whether that be learning how to teach your kids how to learn in a remote type of environment, learning how to teach your kids how to do work from home, learning how to have a positive impact on your community in the midst of social distancing. When things aren't going as they typically go, this is the perfect opportunity for you to innovate and learn how to do things differently. This is the new normal. This is the new normal. Remote learning. This is the new normal. Education technology taking over the education industry. This is the new normal. Being able to navigate in brick and mortar settings and from the comfort of your own home. Being able to learn anywhere. Being able to work anywhere. Being able to have an impact on the world from a computer screen. This is the new normal. Knowing how to use social media to monetize and bring in income to pay your bills. This is the new normal. Nothing's going to go back to the way it was before. So it's your choice to find the skills to equip yourself properly in the midst of this battle to beat the obstacle that's before you so you can be adequately equipped for the next one. If you think right now is the perfect time to learn how to do brick and mortar business, you're wrong. You're wrong. Everything will be flipped on its head after 2020. Everything will be different. Nothing will be the same. Everything will be different. Nothing will be the same. So you have to figure out how to fight differently. Now, patience. Be patient with the situation. Colleges are figuring this out too. It's how you react or adjust to it. Perfect, Ladybug. Colleges are figuring this out for the first time too. Business owners are figuring this out for the first time too. Students are figuring this out. Pastors, teachers, this is new for everyone. Be patient with the situation itself. Be patient with others and be patient with yourself. But find peace in knowing that this is not meant to break you. It's meant to make you. And so here's the second practical tip I'll give you. I told you find peace. Center yourself in the morning. Center yourself in the morning by spending time alone. Processing your own thoughts and getting clarity. For me, oftentimes that looks like me talking to God, whether that be 30 minutes or an hour. Everyone's different. Maybe you just need to meditate. Maybe you need to do yoga. I don't know. Maybe you need to do mindfulness. I don't know, but you need to spend some time with yourself before you try to give yourself to someone else. Center yourself before you start your day and find peace. The second thing I would tell you is document the process. Document the process. Think about the Great Depression. Think about the Great Depression, or I don't know, any crazy situation that has completely flipped America or the world on its head. The 2008 economic crash. All these things are often brought up in situations like this. Oh yeah, we went through this and we recovered from it. Yeah, cool. But document how you're evolving, how you're processing your emotions, how you're overcoming situations in this moment, because it can serve as a reference point for you in the future. I'll take you back to my scholarship process. How did I Spanish flu. Perfect. How did I document my scholarship process When I was applying for scholarships for 5 years, some days I had to respond to 20 clients, write 4 essays for school, and then finish 2 essays for scholarships in the same 24-hour period window. Like some days I had to go without sleep. How did I document my process? A lot of it is recorded mentally. Some of it is recorded via video and pictures. It's in my phone. Some of it is also recorded via articles. People have written about me, interviews I've done. Other parts of it are documented on social media. Other parts of it are documented in family. There are family members and community members who saw me going through my process who I could get testimonials and interviews from. There are so many ways I've documented and captured that moment to be able to share my experience. And now it's a reference point for me. I said, this battle that's before you will force you to equip yourself with a new skill set and new knowledge to overcome the next one. So when I think about the things that are before me, if I can get through them, there's no question, because I had to just overcome something that took everything I thought I had within me and more a year ago, a 5-year process. And so what I will say, that's the second practical tip. The number one tip is to center yourself, find peace. Peace. What is peace? Peace is simply the knowing that everything will be okay. That's how I define it. Peace forces me to surrender my negative thoughts to my faith. Yeah, that doesn't look good right now. Yeah, the fact that hasn't been completed yet, that's not a good sign. That's not a good look. But everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. I'm not going to stress about it. It'll turn out. It'll work out. That's what peace requires. The second part I'll give you, the second practical tip, is to document it, because you want to have a reference point moving forward. You want to be able to speak about all the things you've overcome and tell the story authentically without having to fabricate it or not knowing if this detail came before this one. No, document the process. Save yourself time later on. I'll give you a heads up. That's one reason why I do YouTube. I'm documenting my process of building dough for degrees, of teaching these students how to win scholarships after I've finished college, so no one can deny the evidence or the truth of the story long after this company is built and successful. You will be able to go and watch me every Sunday talk about my process, my old videos. You'll be able to go watch me teach you how I educated the world on how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt free. Now, will you see everything? No, but you do get to hear a great portion of it. Second thing is to document the process. The third thing I would tell you, in the midst of this is how you know whether or not you're learning. This is a test of your knowledge. Here you go. Your ability to help someone else get through the situation too. Test your knowledge. That's the third thing. Number one, center yourself. Number two, document the process. Number three, test your knowledge. How do you test your knowledge? Try to help someone else get through the same situation. Try to teach someone else how to overcome their obstacles. Try to comfort someone else or encourage someone else in a moment of despair, a moment when they're struggling to get through their situations. Test your knowledge. See if you really learned. See if you're as strong as you think you are. But in the midst of testing your knowledge, in the midst of seeing and tracking your progress, be patient. It's the attitude you have while waiting, and it's directly correlated to peace. Knowing that everything will be okay. You have to have a positive attitude. You have to know that the end of this will be better than the beginning. You will overcome it. You will be strong. You will be better because of it. But if you keep speaking death into the situation, if you keep speaking negativity over the situation, if you keep stressing yourself out because it's not coming at this very moment, you don't know how to wait and be patient for the answer, you're going to delay your progress. You're simply going to delay your progress and make things way harder on yourself than it could be. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Everyone that's tuned in, I appreciate it. I hope this was helpful today. This applies to scholarships beyond most of maybe what you could see right now. But with scholarships, I often receive so many rejection letters. I've said it before. I applied for 120 scholarships and only won 42 of them. 120 scholarships, only won 42 of them, totaling more than $200,000. I received more no's, more rejection letters than I did yes. Then I did congratulation letters. But the only reason I graduated debt free is because I was committed to the process and I was patient in the midst of every test, every obstacle that came my way, every time I failed, every time I cried myself to sleep. I still stuck it through and told myself, you don't have a choice. You have to get up the next day and show up and put in 120%. Leave it all on the table. When this is said and done, I want to know that I gave it my best. And I never threw in a towel. I only stopped when the job was done. That's it. Significant change does not occur until you've made a commitment. That's right, right? Same here, persistent and determination. Exactly. Significant change will not occur until you make a commitment. Until you tell yourself, I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to put some work in. I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to push through, even when things don't make sense, even when things I can't see what's coming next. I'm committed to the process, not necessarily committed to the success, because the success is temporary. But if you're committed to the process, then you're devoted and you're committed to learning as you go and growing as you know. Okay? Commit to the process. Don't commit to the success. Commit to the process. I couldn't tell you how many scholarships I was going to need to win when I started. I couldn't tell you how much money I would need exactly to graduate debt-free when I started. No. I committed to the process. I'll do whatever is required to get the results I want. Point blank, period. That has to be your same result. That has to be your same resolve in this moment. I'll do whatever is required to get the results I want. I hope this is helpful, y'all. I love y'all. I got nothing but love for you. I can't wait to see you next Sunday. And I know I owe y'all some videos on YouTube too. I haven't forgotten about you. They're coming. Within the next 2 days, they're coming. All the ones I owe you for this week, and we're getting ready to push through. But I love y'all. Y'all know y'all can contact me directly. The link to contact me is in the link in my IG bio. And for YouTube, the link is in my about page on my YouTube channel. The about page is the last page. My dad said, determination, a great thing. Believe in knowing that there's a goal that you can achieve. Yes, absolutely. How was y'all YouTube? Y'all leave a comment. Let me know if the audio came through clearly this week. Or if you like this audio. I told you I would use my headphones instead of my mic because my mic kept disconnecting. Y'all let me know. It came through clearly? Good stuff. All right. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great Sunday. Enjoy your day. Remember, be patient and find peace. Love you. Talk to you later.